Dear Pokémon Unite, what the hell happened? This game was supposed to be the competitive breakthrough for Pokemon. Strategy, teamwork, and skill all coming together in a format that could have built something truly special. But instead, it's become a case study in how to destroy your own competitive scene from the inside out. The community has turned on itself. Players don't just tilt, they despise each other. They rage, grief, quit mid-match holding genuine hatred for their own teammates. And the worst part? It's not entirely their fault. Unite's entire ranked system and game design have created a player base trapped in a toxic cycle. A game that requires teamwork and coordination, but built on an environment where those things can't exist. A system so broken that even players who want to improve can't, because the game refuses to hold anyone accountable. And what happens when skill stops mattering in a team-based game? Chaos, blame, division. The community cannibalizes itself because the game that was supposed to unite us has done the exact opposite. But it doesn't have to stay this way. Unite still has the potential to be something incredible if it's only willing to face the uncomfortable truth about how it got here. Hello and welcome to the very first and most important installment of Holding Unite Accountable, the series where we break down what's holding this game back, what can fix it, and why, despite everything, I still care enough to speak up. I'm your host, Rillatactics, and today we're talking about one of the biggest reasons that Pokemon Unite's competitive scene has hit rock bottom, why so many players have given up, why teamwork doesn't exist, and what needs to change to save it. So strap into your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because this isn't just another rant. This is the reality check that Unite has been avoiding for years. At this point, we have to be honest about the biggest elephant in the room. The average Unite player just isn't very good. And I don't mean that as an insult, I mean it as fact. After years of updates, patches, and ranked seasons, the overall skill level of Unite's player base has barely changed. Even players with thousands of games under their belt, literal veterans, are performing no better than they did when they first started. You'll see it in every match. Players running straight into 1v3s, supports farming in the corner while their team fights over objectives, attackers ignoring rotations, and defenders forgetting what defending even means. Fundamentals like spacing, map awareness, and character matchups still missing in action for most of the player base. And the truth is, the game never forces them to learn. There's no reality check, no punishment for poor play, no moment where a player is made to ask, maybe I'm the problem. Unite doesn't teach, and it doesn't punish. It just lets players make the same mistakes over and over again with no consequence. Is it really fair to call the community lazy when the system itself enables it to be? The way Unite's ranked ladder is designed has created this culture of stagnation. It rewards time spent, not skill earned. It tells players that they're improving when really the system's just carrying them forward. And the worst part? Most players don't even realize it's happening. On the surface, it looks fair, but under the hood, this thing isn't just flawed, it's fundamentally broken. It's a system designed to look competitive while quietly protecting players from the very thing that makes competition real, the risk of failure. Let me explain. Unite's ladder has 6 ranks: beginner, great, expert, veteran, ultra, and finally, master. Each rank is divided into multiple classes, and within each class, you have to earn 4 little diamonds to move forward. Simple enough, right? Win a match, get a diamond. Lose a match, lose a diamond. It seems fair. But here's where the illusion kicks in, with the performance point system. Every time you win, you earn performance points, and rack up enough of them, and the game just hands you a free diamond. Like, congrats, you existed. But when you lose, you don't lose rank right away. Oh no. First, the game eats away at those performance points instead. You only start losing real diamonds once that safety net is completely drained. So what happens? You can lose game after game, drag your whole team down, feed the enemy jungler 3 levels ahead, and the system just shrugs and says, close enough, you can keep your rank. Then you win a single match, refill your safety net, and suddenly, it's like none of those losses ever happened. The game pats you on the back and says, see, you are improving. No, you aren't improving. You're being carried. not by your team, but by the system itself. This is exactly what fake progress looks like. It's participation trophies disguised as competition. A ranked mode that tells you you're climbing when really, the game just refuses to let you fall. And once you hit Masters, oh, it somehow gets worse. No demotions, no accountability, no pressure, just infinite matches at the quote-unquote highest level of play forever. Even if you're consistently performing poorly, you can lose 20 games in a row, win one, and still proudly stand next to players who actually earned their spot. It's not just ridiculous, it's insulting, and it's anti-competitive by design. That's how we've ended up with players rocking negative win rates in Masters. People who have literally lost more than they've won, being celebrated as top-tier players. Unite doesn't reward consistency, it rewards persistence. It doesn't measure who's getting better, it measures who's stubborn enough to keep queuing. And when failure has no consequence, improvement has no reason to exist. Okay, but what about the players who actually do care about getting better? You know, the ones who study their gameplay, understand rotations, practice combos, and actually want to win through skill. Surely they get rewarded for their effort, right? Wrong. Because in Unite, even when you do everything right, the game itself stacks the odds against you. You could have perfect mechanics, great map awareness, clean macro decisions, and still lose because the design of the game doesn't care about consistency. It cares about chaos. And look, Unite has made real attempts to create a more competitive environment. Groudon replacing Rayquaza was a massive step forward. Finally, an objective that rewards coordination and awareness instead of blind luck. And the addition of Draft Pick gave ranked play the structure it needed for years. But that only fixed a portion of the problem, because the problem isn't the systems anymore. It's the players those old systems created. The same people who used to flip Zapdos or Rayquaza without a thought are now doing the exact same thing with Groudon. They brute force fights, score when they shouldn't, overstay after securing, and hand the game right back to the enemy. Years of being protected by a broken ranked system created players who never had to learn how to play properly. And now, even when the game finally tries to reward skill, it's filled with people who have no idea how to use it. And this is because of the simple fact that Masters is completely polluted with players who don't deserve to be there. These are players who climb through sheer persistence, and now they're sitting in the highest rank, misplaying every fight, feeding objectives, and dragging down everyone who actually earned their way up. When a game's design constantly undermines its own skill ceiling, it destroys motivation. So yeah, the players who actually care about getting better, they're the ones getting punished most of all, because no matter how hard they work, no matter how much they improve, they're still at the mercy of a system that refuses to value skill. So how can Unite fix this mess? Honestly, the only option it has left is burning down the ladder and rebuilding it like a real competitive game. That means a complete ranked reset. Not a soft drop, not a band-aid. If Unite wants real competitive integrity, it needs a clean slate, with no traces of the system that created this disaster in the first place. Then, performance points have to go. If a match is supposed to measure you, it has to cut both ways. Wins move you up, and losses move you down. No more bubble wrap. The climb has to mean something. Make it mathematically impossible to reach Masters without consistently winning more than you lose. And once there has to be a skill floor, so sustained poor play sends players right back down to Ultra. Masters needs to mean mastery. And that integrity needs to be protected with strict rank separation and matchmaking. Masters queue with Masters, Ultra with Ultra, and Veteran with Veteran. Mixing drastically different skill levels isn't inclusive, it's anti-competitive. Next, the matchmaking itself needs a complete rework. Before even entering a queue, players should be forced to complete a roll call, where they select 3 preferred roles and a lane. This allows matchmaking to take into consideration player intent and skill, allowing it to build more balanced teams and avoid piling 5 people who all want the same job into one lobby. No more double junglers, no more 4 attackers and 1 support. It's all coordinated before players even get to the loading screen. And finally, once you've earned your way to Masters, raise the standard with role restrictions. To queue there, you need at least 1 Pokemon unlocked from every role and a total of 10 licenses. Baseline proof you understand the game. And in match, cap teams at 2 of any single role. And the second a duplicate exists, every remaining slot must be a different role. That keeps comps functional, forces real team understanding, and still leaves plenty of creative room. All of this points to one outcome: accountability. A ladder that rewards skill, punishes complacency, respects your effort, and finally lets Pokémon Unite play like the competitive game it was always meant to be. It doesn't need to reinvent itself. It just needs to grow up. I strongly believe Unite still has everything that it needs to be great. The gameplay's fun, the roster's deep, the potential is massive. The problem isn't the concept, it's the structure. If Unite rebuilds its foundation, if it finally makes ranked mean something, it could be one of the best competitive MOBAs on the market. Because underneath all the chaos and burnout, there's still a community that cares. And the players that have stepped away from Unite didn't quit because they stopped loving the game. They quit because the game stopped loving them back. And if the right changes were made, they would return in a heartbeat. So this isn't hate, it's tough love. I criticize because I care. Because I still believe in what Pokémon Unite could be. Sincerely signed, Rillatactics. If you made it this far, thank you. This video isn't just my rant, it's a reflection of what so many of us have been feeling for years. Pokémon Unite has one of the most passionate communities out there, and I genuinely believe that if enough of us speak up, not just complain, but offer real solutions, change can happen. And trust me, I have endless ideas for how Unite could improve. There are so many systems, mechanics, and design choices that could be fixed or reworked entirely to make this game everything it was meant to be. But I chose to start here because this issue, the player-based skill gap in the ranked environment that enables it, is the most important one. If Unite takes action to fix this, everything else becomes possible. So tell me what you think. What would you change? Or what did I miss? Drop it in the comments. Let's keep this conversation flowing. And if you want Unite to hear us, if you want this message to actually reach the devs, share this video. Get it in front of people who love this game as much as we do. The more voices we have, the harder we are to ignore. This isn't about being right, it's about making Pokémon Unite something worth fighting for again. But for now, my name is Rillatactics, and I'll see you in the next one.